Well, a new government-backed savings account for kids is coming. You probably heard about these Trump accounts, but how much do we know about them? Well, right now we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons, what we do know, the details we currently have about these Trump accounts because they're set to launch a little bit later this year. We'll break it all down coming up next. Welcome into Dollars with Dennis. I am Ben George with Dennis Hoare. As always, glad to see you, Dennis. These Trump accounts have been in the headlines. I know they're kind of being maybe knocked down the list of headlines with everything else that's going on right now. But as we get closer to the summer, I think they're going to be becoming more and more of a talked about subject. Don't you think?
I think they will. I love how our government throws things together and puts it out there, and we got to figure out what to do with them. Still trying to get through Secure Act 2.0.
Exactly, right? I mean, a lot of people are still doing that. The one big beautiful bill has the tax changes that I think a lot of people are paying attention to. And then, of course, this came out of that, which, again, raises a lot of questions. And I know people will probably come to you asking about this a little bit. So what I want to do today in this video is make sure we kind of at least go through the big picture stuff, make sure we kind of at least share the details of what we know, and then just talk about some of the pros and cons of using these accounts versus trying some other available options for saving for kids and for the future. So again, as we go through this, as always, remember you go to 401k.faith. If you have any questions, all the contact information is also in the show description as well. But give us the big picture, Dennis, the details that we do know right now about these Trump accounts.
So yeah, we're launching it in July of this year. $1,000 for every newborn child between 2025 and 2028. The parent must be 18, or the custodian keeps it to 18. Others can contribute. That's one part that confuses me, but can put up to $5,000 a year into it. So parents or grandparents could do that. Employers can actually add money to the Trump account, $2,500 a year to do that. So there's lots of options there. The money's invested automatically in a low-cost U.S. equity index. Withdrawals are taxed as ordinary income. And there could be some early withdrawals you face when you get there. So on the surface, it looks really, really good. I think if we dig into it just a little bit further, we might not like it as well, but we'll see.
Yeah, so that's some of the main details that we know right now. Again, this launching July of 2026. What is the main problem that this is trying to solve, Dennis, this program that they launched? What were the goals for this? Because, I think a lot of people know there's a lot of different ways to save. So what are we trying to solve with this?
Trying to pump start an account for kids when they're little, get some basically education, learning about markets. So if you're in an index fund, you're getting invested into a mutual fund of an index. So there's some education goes on. So it's getting people some experience early on in life. Now they probably at 1, 2, 3 years old won't understand that at that point, but as they get older, there's a way some vested interest that they'll be able to look back and say, well, what really is this? And how do I use this? And what's the benefit to me? So I think the goal was just to get people to invest money for kids for later on in life right away.
Yeah, could be a great opportunity for that, but maybe not. Let's talk about some of the pros and cons then, Dennis. So we'll begin with the positives. What are the biggest pros that you see with these Trump accounts?
It's free money. $1,000 free money. That's a big start. So it compounds annually in there. So it compounds all the time. It's a low cost investment. So it's very, very simple. You open the account, it's good and invested. It's hands off, really easy to go and do. And most people, anybody has a child that was born 25 to 28, they should do that part for sure.
Yeah, so free money is free money, right? And we all talk about taking advantage of that. And a lot of times we talk about that with company matches, right? It's a free money, take advantage. So there are some good things here within these Trump accounts, but there are some criticisms as well. So what have you seen or heard the most regarding the downsides possibly to putting your money in these Trump accounts?
So I know my accountants had spent a week in a conference 2 weeks ago, a full week on the big, beautiful bill. So I'm still waiting to learn a little bit more about that. But the contributions may not qualify for an annual gift tax. So anytime you give money to somebody, there's a form, a reporting form 709 that gets given. It looks like these are not exempt from that. So that is going to be just an additional hassle people will be having to file a tax form. Might not cost them any money, but it's something they have to do. There is no tax deduction on the contributions, which I would be okay. It's free money going in. You put money in, I would be okay with that. But then the withdrawals coming out are taxable. So I think that's a big difference between Roth accounts, 529s, and UGMA accounts that you can put money in. You don't necessarily get the tax deduction today, but you have some tax relief down the road. And that doesn't look to be in the options yet. Maybe when the language is full out and we know everything about it, maybe it's a little bit improved, but right now it's not my favorite child.
Well, look, again, if you have questions about this, we go through it, and you're going to have questions probably over the next few months as you go through this. Please get in touch with Dennis and the team there. Just go to 401k.faith to get in touch. Again, everything is in the show description as well to make it easy for you. But questions are going to come up, and there are discussions to be had. And, kind of answer that question a little bit, Dennis, who do you think would utilize this the best? Or maybe how would you advise qualified clients, do you think, right now?
Yeah, so I think there's so you're going to do the $1,000, you're going to put that in and maybe add some money to it. That's great because free money, I would do that. But then I would definitely look at 529 plans. And thanks to Secure Act 2.0 that I mentioned a minute ago, once kids get to 20, 25 years old, if they have money left in their 529 for college fund that they haven't spent on college, they can start converting that to a Roth. Ultimately, that will continue to grow tax deferred until they're old enough to start retiring. So that's a huge benefit to 529 plans. And then the Roth IRA itself is a huge. I love the Roth IRA for tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals going forward on this. So I think those are both better if you're putting more money than $1,000 in there to do that. And then the custodial accounts or UGMA accounts, unified gifts to minors, have some of those features, but not all of them. So there's probably four choices when you're investing money for kids for long term or for college, and this is just one part of it. So I would encourage listeners and clients to call in if they feel like that is in their future with children or their grandchildren. That'd be a great opportunity to discuss what are the best things going forward.
Yeah, again, the number 513-898-1897. And Dennis, really, whether it's a Trump account or any other account out there, it really just goes back to the same discussion you have with everyone about planning, right? Considering all the options, it might be the best option for you. It might not be a good option, but you want to have a plan in place that you understand where you're putting your money, why you're putting it there, and what you're getting out of it.
You're exactly right. It all starts with the plan. If we have the plan, we'll know what's best for the client as we go. And we can adjust that over time as their needs change. And that's the whole idea of you got to start with a plan.
Well, I expect you'll be having a few of these conversations over the coming months about these Trump accounts. And if you are in this position where this is an option for you, maybe it's a great opportunity, but one to explore a little bit further. And hopefully this video kind of paints the main details and the pros and cons as we know them here to start 2026. Again, we're still about 6 months away from them launching, and we don't know all the details yet, but as we learn more, we'll try to share them here. But also, you can always get in touch with Faith 401k and Money Management directly to learn more and to find out what options are best for you. All right. Well, we appreciate you watching another episode of Dollars with Dennis. As always, please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done that already, we appreciate that support. Drop a comment as well if you have a thought on these Trump accounts. We'd love to hear from you. We'll talk to you again soon. Dennis, have a good week.
Yep, you too. Thanks, Ben.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision.